Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you a mini DIY that goes along with these free, and yes I said free, Halloween PDF downloads that I encourage you to print and use as decorations this season. They can be found as behance.net/ShelbyLynn but I will go into that further in the video. So these are 4 designs that I kind of just sketched out and thought would be really fun to kind of put into something for Halloween decorations. And this is just one DIY idea to kind of spoopify or make these look a little creepy. So the classic method, obviously with paper, tends to be a crinkling method. And then we are going to coffee stain it, or obviously you can use tea if you're a tea drinker. And then I do the tiniest bit of burning them, which I will put a disclaimer, please only do that if you can safely and with another hand, and always have an emergency plan essentially. But for the coffee, so I did crinkle the paper, as you could see, just to give it some dimension and hopefully to let the coffee kind of rest in a more interesting way. And this, I used coffee grounds because I didn't feel like I didn't feel like wasting coffee. And I set it in this dish just with water and let it sit for roughly 30 minutes to kind of, I'll say, steep. This truly wasn't as effective as I thought it would be, but more than anything, I think it was good to kind of get get the paper damp, and kind of willing to absorb coffee grounds. And so what I'm doing here is pulling it out and placing them on, well, I only had one pan, so I placed them on the pan / just on the racks in general in my oven, and set my oven to like maybe 250, and placed coffee grounds and splashed water on top of them, thinking, because I felt like they didn't absorb anything being in the water. So by kind of placing coffee grounds on top, I could tell that made much more of a difference by letting them dry with coffee grounds on top of them. I can't even remember how long I had it in the oven, maybe like 15-20 minutes. It was just to let the paper dry, let the coffee grounds dry, let it all soak in. Obviously keep an eye on it, don't let anything go crazy or burn, as paper is obviously very flammable. But this worked pretty well and easy to just dump the coffee grounds off of. And like I said, this was definitely way more effective at staining the paper, to which I then just placed paper towels in between the layers and placed a book on top and let it sit overnight to make sure everything was flat and was drying properly. You could use a hairdryer to dry things quickly. And this is kind of how they came out. The Caution I Bite, I put the least amount of grounds on, and you can see it was the least stained out of all of them. So if you really want a staining effect, I highly, highly recommend it. And you could stop there, but if you wanted to be crazy and you can do it safely and with assistance, I did do a bit of burning to the paper, and I really, really, really am trying to stress, please be safe about it. If you can't be safe about it and it's like you think it's not a good idea, don't do it, just don't. But I simply was using a lighter, and I've done this a handful of times, but probably not for quite a few years. So for even me, it was a tiny bit of a learning curve at first, but I'm right next to my sink. I had water running. I was ready to plunge paper into water if needed, which you see me do once or twice in this video. As soon as I saw a flame, that baby was in the water because I was not risking it. Keeping it a few inches below the paper, and just be patient and slow. And kind of as soon as you see that slight browning, I would just move on to another area. Obviously, the more you add heat, it's going to instantly want to set on fire. So, kind of doing it slow and steady, watching the brown, making sure like as soon as you see a brown getting dark and spreading, it's probably seconds away from catching on fire, and it can get out of hand and burn very, very quickly. So again, please be safe. I don't want anyone causing a fire alarm to go off or accidentally truly setting a fire over something just like this. But this was a fun element that did add some interesting details, and you will see that I literally, one corner kind of got a little crazy, and just to make it look more even, I kind of just ripped at the edges of the hand so that it wasn't a rectangle with then just a missing corner. So these can be used for so many things. They could be framed. My method was using a push pin and a binder clip. These are how I used to hang artwork in college, so I don't mind it because it can feel very temporary. It's not like the weirdest method of hanging, and especially like I said, if you're in a rental, I love using this method for hanging things. It's easy, it's cheap, and it really doesn't leave like giant holes in the wall or anything, and you can easily switch things out. So I love these. Seriously, you could use these. I can't express how much I like am encouraging you to come up with your own creative ideas, cut them out, use them for whatever. I just think it's so fun to DIY this stuff. So I did this video showing you how to locate them. It's super simple. I'll have the link in the description, but going to my Behance, there's a big old thing that says download PDF, which will send you to a Dropbox link where you can either download which one you want or download all, and it'll download into like a Halloween 2020 folder on your computer, and feel free to use them for whatever. They are formatted for 8.5 by 11, but you can obviously, they're PDFs, so you can kind of mess with them as you wish. And again, please just feel free to be creative, obviously be safe, and if you'd love to share these with me or with others, I would love if you tagged me on Instagram at ShelbyLynnLives, and it would mean the world to me. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.